Hello everyone. Welcome to my presentation of part 3, SPM Speaking, which constitutes 25% of the exam paper. So previously, I did part 1 and part 2, and now this is the last part. So if you have been following my speaking, all my 3 videos, you will find that the SPM speaking paper for the speaking section is 25% of the whole paper, and there are 3 parts to it: part 1, part 2, and part 3. Today I will touch on part 3, how to answer. What is the correct way to do it? And I give you some ideas, some tips on how to answer and how to prepare. So first of all, you are given 4 to 5 minutes for this section. By the way, my name is Dr. Lee. I've forgotten about it. My name is Dr. Lee, and I come from Bukit Matajam, which is in the northern part of Malaysia, western Malaysia, Semenanjung, Malaysia, Peninsular Malaysia. For now, I'm staying in Kluang, Johor. So welcome to my class. I hope that after following part 1 and part 2, you have a clearer picture of how you should answer and prepare for SPM speaking paper, the speaking test, the speaking part, which is, as I have mentioned, 25% of the whole paper. So part 3, we have 2 candidates. Actually, we have 2 candidates who will be sitting together, and in front of the candidate you have this person whom we call the interlocutor, or actually the examiner, who will be asking you questions and conducting the speaking paper, so speaking test. And there's another examiner behind who is doing all the, the jotting down and writing of the marks. Now, you will be given a piece of paper, or actually I call it a booklet, okay? And in the booklet, you will have a question like this, okay? You will have a question in the middle, and 6 points are given to you, either reasons or ways or causes or benefits, okay? So this is a question which I have just just thought of the question and I write it down. It's my own question. So it's just an example, something that I can think of. So for example, I have this question. So I give the booklet to the 2 students, and then you both can have a look, and then you can discuss. This is a discussion part, the long discussion question. So for example, my question is, why do locals like to visit Malacca? It's just an example. So I have given you 6 reasons why locals like to visit Malacca. So maybe Malacca, and these are the 6 reasons. So both of you will talk about this question and answers. 3 minutes given, around 3 minutes. So it's just like you may have you have a chance to look at the questions first, but anybody can start. Okay, there are 2 candidates. A can start, B can start. It does not matter. So whoever wants to start, just start. So for me, I like to simplify things. I like to make things simple. Don't complicate yourselves by simply talking about everything. I would do it my way. My way is like this. You take 3, I take 3. I speak 3 times, 3 points. You speak 3 times, 3 points. The discussion ends. For me, I would do it this way. I would make it very simple. So the format, I mean. So, it will not create a problem whereby you talk and then your friend talks the same thing. And then in your first point, you talk about the second point. I think it's very complicating, and, it's very It doesn't create a system. So for me, if I were a candidate, I will just choose 3 points and then you choose the other 3 points. So if you are given a little bit time to discuss, then you can just tell your friend, I take these 3, and then your friend says, okay, I take these 3, then you start. But if you are not allowed to speak or to talk or to discuss, your examiner wants you to start immediately, it's still okay, no problem. You just, one of you start. Don't waste time, start. So if I would give you this tip, I would give you my suggestion. Answer from the question, because the hardest part in writing or speaking is the introduction. It's always difficult for students, how to start. But once they have started, it is easy. So usually it's not the ending, it's the beginning. How to start? So I give you a suggestion. Just look at the question and answer from the question. Start your answer from the question. Like here. If I were the student, I would just say, locals like to visit Malacca for several reasons, firstly. And then my second round, I say, in addition or moreover or secondly, it doesn't matter. So I will teach you this way. You can start by saying, in my opinion, or you can say, I think, from my point of view, it's okay. So let us say I start with, in my opinion, locals like to visit Malacca to enjoy the beautiful beach or beaches of Malacca. Then I will follow. After I say the point, I will give a reason. After the reason, I will give an example. Okay? So I will probably say, to enjoy the beautiful beach that is found in Malacca, or the beautiful beaches that are found in Malacca. Then I will give reason. This is because Malacca is actually, facing the sea, and we can find stunning or beautiful beaches along the coast. And then I give example. For example, Klebang Beach is so beautiful. We can see a lot of tourists there and locals enjoying the beautiful scenery and taking a little swim if they want to, because the place is absolutely stunning. I will say like this. Then I will ask my friend, my partner, what do you think, candidate B? Then candidate B, I have spoken on this, so candidate B has 5 more. Don't repeat what I have said. Say something else. So candidate B will choose the food. So candidate B may say, in my opinion, or I think locals like to visit Malacca to enjoy the delicious and cheap food in Malacca. This is because there are many types of food that is sold in Malacca. For example, Chinese food, Portuguese food, Mamak food, Malay food, and Mamak food. The food that is served is not only delicious, but also at low prices, which you cannot find in other places. I will say something like this. Then I will ask A, do you agree with me, candidate A? Or do you agree with me, Maria? Then if I were Maria or candidate A, I say, yes, I agree with you. Then I might repeat by saying, besides the delicious and cheap food, we can also enjoy shopping in Malacca. As we all know, in downtown Malacca, there are so many, in Hayton Square, in Jalan Laksamana, in the Central Market, there are so many shops and malls offering a variety of products for sale. So I would say that locals go there for shopping, to enjoy the atmosphere, the vast variety of products sold. And then I may even say, I myself love shopping and I love to buy bags, especially handmade or local bags. So therefore I would go to Central Market and I would also go to, you know, the red houses, we call it, I don't remember, you know, those Dutch houses, the steadies. I will go to the steadies to buy handmade bags for my friends and for my relatives. I would say like that, you know. Then I will ask again. I may ask, do you agree with me? I may ask, what do you think, candidate A? I may ask, what is your opinion, candidate A? Then candidate A will reply, so that's what you have spoken on shopping, you have spoken on beach, food, so you have 3 more left. Then I say, yes, I agree with you. Besides the great shopping malls and shops, especially Central Market, as you have mentioned, I think locals like to visit Malacca because they want to enjoy cruising along the Malacca River, like this. Until you have done all the 6. So you ask again, what do you think? They say, oh, I see eye to eye with you. Or I concur with you. I agree with you. It's okay. Or you have a point there. Your point sounds good. And I would like to add on by saying that locals like to visit Malacca to understand the rich history that Malacca has to offer. I would say like that. So once the conversation ends, you are given time or not given time. I would say like this. Now you have to decide together which is the most popular reason. So out of the 6, you choose one. Now, if I look at reference books and I look at the videos about speaking tests conducted, students are given some, you know, maybe 20 seconds or half a minute to discuss, to decide together one reason or the most popular reason why locals choose to visit Malacca. But I have students coming to me and telling me this. Oh, in school, our teachers, during our peperiksaan percobaan or the trial exam, we were not given time to discuss. We had to speak immediately. So, you know, they are so worried, you know. SPM is coming so soon, you know, speaking that we don't know which is the correct way. I say nothing to worry. If the examiner gives you time, then use the time. If the examiner doesn't give you time and wants you to speak immediately, do it. Nothing to worry. Because examiners are also not robots. You know, we have already, you know, set what they have to say. You see, it's based on the situation at that time. So I told my students that if the examiner doesn't give you the time to discuss, it's okay. One of you start immediately. Once the examiner says you may start now, any one of you start first. It's okay, nothing to worry. Okay, as I said, the examiners or the interlocutors are not machines. They are humans. So based on the situation, perhaps they don't give you time to discuss. It's all right. So any one of you can start by saying, answer the question for me is the best. So you can say, in my opinion, from my perspective, from my point of view, in my opinion, I think it's okay. The most popular reason, and then come here, locals like to visit Malacca, is to understand the rich history of Malacca. Then, I directly ask my friend first, because we need to choose the most popular reason. So I can't be speaking anything. So I'm teaching you a way. If the examiner doesn't give you time to discuss, then you do the way I'm teaching you right now. So I say like this, then I ask my friend, do you agree with me, Maria? And then Maria must say yes, because you have to both decide on one. Yes, I totally agree with you. Then Maria can give a reason already. Then you wait first. So Maria may say, as we all know, Malacca has a long history and it's a World Heritage Center. It has a World Heritage Site. It has a long history, about 200 years. So it's the place that, you know, most beneficial for students or for anyone to visit, because they can learn about the rich history that Malacca offers. Do you agree with me, candidate A? Or do you agree with me, Rahim? It's okay. So you see what I mean? So during an exam, we must be spontaneous. Don't expect the examiner must do this, must do that, must do this. Not necessary. Situation may not allow. Okay? So if the examiner gives you time, yes, you both discuss. If the examiner doesn't give you time, it's alright. One of you start first and ask the other whether he or she agrees. Once he agrees, you kick off. And then discuss. Maybe one person can say 2 times and then the ending. The ending is one supplementary question asked by the interlocutor. So my question is here. It's just a question I have thought of. In what ways does visiting a historical site create an interest in hobby? Then both of you answer. One person answer once or one person can answer twice. It's okay. And when you have finished, then it's the end of the speaking test. So the interlocutor will say, thank you, candidate A, candidate B, or thank you, Rahim and Maria. That's the end of the speaking test. And then she collects back the booklet and you can leave the examination hall. Now, this question, in what ways? You can see the word as here. So by right, it will be good if you can think of 2. But if you cannot, it's still okay because one person think of 1. So there's still 2. If you can think of 1 more, you go ahead. If cannot, never mind, your friend can do it. Okay? So how does a historical site, a World Heritage Site, for example, create interest in history for a student or for an adult? So, in my opinion, or this is because, in my opinion, visiting a historical site can indeed or can create an interest in history for students and adults alike. This is because we can see with our own eyes a famosa or the studies or Malacca. I really can't think of one right now. Or no, I can only think of a famosa. So, you know, or the museum, okay? And then this is much better. Visiting the place and looking at the buildings with our own eyes is much better than reading from a book and imagining. Because all these were built hundreds of years ago. And then another student, then I finished already, I asked my friend, what do you think, candidate B? And then our friend said, oh yes, I agree with you. So in addition to what you have said, I would like to add on by saying that for many students or to many students, history is a boring subject because all they have to do or all they do is to sit in the class and listen to the teacher explaining, and it is hard to imagine things that happened centuries ago, hundreds of years ago. It's very hard to imagine. It's unlike geography where you can see it with your own eyes. Now, I talk about oil palm, I see oil palm. But you talk about A Famosa, I really cannot imagine what it looks like. And the people in the olden days, I can't imagine what they look like. So therefore, visiting the place and having the first-hand experience is a very good way to create interest in history. History will become more interesting. Then you can conclude. Okay, then that is the end of your, you know. So this is my answer, or this is the reason why I think a historical site can create an interest in our minds. And then the examiner will say, the examiner will know, the interlocutor will know you have finished, and therefore he or she will say thank you, and you know, that's the end of the speaking test, and you can leave the examination hall. Of course, you must remember to say thank you. All right. Now, I have already discussed all the 3 parts. If you are interested, you know, to learn more, of course, you can go to my YouTube, or you are at my YouTube, and then I do post in my Facebook. If you like to learn about speaking, how to speak, go to my TikTok. These 2 accounts belong to me. And you can even WhatsApp me, but do not phone, do not call me, because sometimes I may be uploading videos, I may be teaching, I may be having some things to do and I can't answer phone calls. But if you like to WhatsApp me for any urgent reason, you can go ahead. During my free time, I will answer you. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. You can share this with your friends so that they are not so worried about their exam. And I hope all of you do very well, either this year or next year. Goodbye everyone, and hope to see you again in my coming videos.